Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of mine. This time I'm back with last Twilight episode 12. Y'all, it is happening. We have arrived at the last episode of last Twilight. This series has been something, okay? I have the feeling it's gonna end a little similar to vice versa, as in this bittersweetness, because the way that they showed the preview of this episode literally looked like what happened vice versa. Both characters being separated and they are trying to move on with their lives, but there's still this something that is pulling both of them together, and at the end of the day they couldn't avoid but be with each other. So I have the feeling that this is gonna be something. We also saw that our little Mog is gonna accept the job, as in I did say it seemed to be some kind of last wish for Day, but let's hope that Day comes to his senses and realizes what is actually going on, because it's the fact that Mog was that traumatized because of what happened with his sister that he was willing to give up everything for Day. And because of the insecurities that Day has, feeling that everyone thinks that this man can't do anything by himself if he doesn't get his eyesight back, actually hurt him when Mog refused to go with the job and stay with Day. He doesn't see the fact that Mog, in a certain sense, has been traumatized because of what happened with his sister. And from the other side, that this man truly loves this man, and that's why he wanted to be there for him. But we will see. I just hope that we don't get to see too much pain, because this show actually almost made me cry the last episode. It was brutal. Like, I'm trying my best not to cry, because I feel like if I cry, I can't stop. Because there are many emotions. Especially after I analyze a specific situation, I already feel a lot of emotions. So me starting to cry would actually just unleash all the pain I feel for these characters, because I kind of learned to love every single character that I see in a show. So I also feel their pain, etc. And the more I grow attached to a character, the more pain I feel. So I don't really want to get into the crying. So I hope they don't make me suffer too much, because I really do not want to cry. But anyway, if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to subscribe for the full uncut reaction. You can check out my Patreon. The link is in my description box below. And without further ado, let's start.
สิ่งสำคัญคือเราต้องหาให้เจอว่าท่ามกลางวันเวลาร้ายๆเหล่านั้นเรายังเหลืออะไรอยู่บ้าง
You need to adapt. Life is a learning process.
เขียนหนังสือสักเล่มสิครับอาจารย์
โอ้ยมันไม่ง่ายนะดิ
งั้นไปตามคนนั้นเขากลับมาช่วยเขียนดีไหม
That! Get your child back!
3 ปีแล้วอ่ะป่านนี้เขาคงไปมีแฟนใหม่แล้วอาจารย์
3 years! 3 years! How are you saying?
นั่นกะเพราไก่ได้แล้ว
I did say he was gonna take the job after all. I did say he was gonna take the job. It was like his last wish.
ก็บอกกำลังมาแล้วค่ะ รอหน่อยนะคะ อีกนานไหมคะกว่าจะมาถึงนะคะโหด
Let's go.
เดี๋ยวกูไปร้านเลย
ให้เจ้าหน้าที่พาไปส่งที่บันไดดีกว่าไหมคะ
ได้เลยครับ
ได้ค่ะ
Stop.
มาเร็ว
Stop. No. Don't. No. They can't be doing me like this. They can't be doing me dirty like this. We remember, I don't know if it was the first episode or the second episode, but Mog refused to be Day's caretaker. So, the next episode, this man went to check his eyes while Mog was looking for another job. And Mog was already in the elevator. And Day walked into the elevator, and I was like, yeah, this was destiny. That was supposed to mean that you have to help this man. As in, you have to take care of him. Like, this is your job. You have to. And that was supposed to be destiny, that they have to be together. And this time, if Mark is in the elevator and Dave walks in and Mark is not saying a word again, don't be giving me that backflash. No. Stop. It's literally like in the elevator. Stop it. He can't see him and he sees him. Grab his hand. He did it once in the car. Stop. Oh, stop. Yo, actually, to be honest, I didn't think I would feel anything, because normally it's very rare to get me this extremely attached to characters, but this show broke me.
ถ้างั้นเดี๋ยวผมช่วยนะครับ
ขอบคุณครับ
Yes! Finally! This
รถ
man
จอดอยู่ที่
grown
ล็อบบี้
some fucking
รบ
balls!
กวนหน่อยนะครับ
Oh, he's willing. Oh, he's willing! Could it be possible that Day has the feeling that he knows, as in the familiar touch? Look at him. He's fidgeting. Is it possible that he may be... I'm so good!
ขอบคุณนะครับ
You're welcome. Let's go. The shock on his face. No, I can't with Mark. Mark was a king, I'm sorry. He didn't do much, but he was a king by doing this. Because we all saw Day's face. Like, if you just hold the arm of some stranger, it's not really making that much of a difference because there's literally no emotional attachment there. But because of the fact that he used to touch Mark's arm all the time back in the day, where Mark was his caretaker and they also slept together, so he'd be touching his arms a lot, alright? He was familiar with this man. He was familiar with this man's arm, as in how this man feels like. Because like I said, considering the fact that he can't see, the other senses are even more heightened. So this man may not have been capable to see him anymore, but he got used to this man's body, as in he got familiar to this man, to his aura, okay? Like, when you touch a stranger, you're just like, oh, another arm. But if I'm actually familiar with someone, then I'm also capable to, like, distinguish the different body types, if I can say it so. So, this man may not have seen Mark, but the familiar feelings, the familiar atmosphere, the familiar tension that was bubbling up between both of them, the second that they touched, made Day reminisce in the good old days, as in Mark's skin felt familiar to him somehow. So this man started blinking, as in he was fidgeting. He was like, what is going on? Like, where are all these sudden emotions coming from? The fact that this man was fidgeting was because the sensation of the touch felt familiar to him. So, the fact that it felt familiar to him made him think of the person who he felt that similarity with, and that similarity was Mark. So, he was reminiscing about the good old days when he was still with Mark. And when Day sat in the car, and he was like, thank you very much for your help. And this man was like, it was my pleasure. Day immediately realized that was Mark, as in I wasn't just thinking, I knew it was a familiar sensation. I am that familiar with this man that I was capable to distinguish this man in a crowd of a billion. As in, what does that mean? The fact that he's so familiar with this man still means that Mark takes a huge part of this man's mind, a huge part of this man's heart. I mean, we could see that this man still had some feelings for this man left when Aon asked him, why don't you just ask him? And Day was like, oh, he probably already has someone new. No, he doesn't. This man doesn't. When this man loves, he loves truly. It's like the same thing that happened with his sister. Back then it was fresh, like it was a year where this man spent in prison, and then the sister was dead, you know? So it's been 4 years now, so the wound back then was fresh. So it was like this kind of trauma that he had to deal with himself. I don't know if he came to terms with what happened back then and what happened with his sister, but the fact is that this man was that traumatized by what happened with his sister that he was willing to give up everything and anything to be with the people he loves the most, even if that means giving up on his career. Because he wanted to make sure that the people that need this man's help will always receive it. That was kind of like his trauma, because he was like, my sister died because I didn't answer a phone call, as in that was my mistake, that's my burden, that's something that I need to deal with for the rest of my life. So he wanted to make sure that they is fine. Now, coming back to Thailand after 3 years of being separated and seeing that they is doing very well, made this man finally be, thank goodness, as in he kind of felt blessed in that moment. Because I'm 100% sure this man just stayed in the USA, as in Hawaii, because it was like Day's last wish to him. He was like, if you truly love me, you do that damn job. The fact that we broke up was because of the fact that you didn't tell me. You tried to hide the fact that I was the reason that you are being held back, etc. Like, we all know. And that's actually what made me sad, because it wasn't necessary, okay? Like, he didn't have to do that. It wasn't necessary. Like, Mark tried his all, and this was like his trauma, and they didn't see it. But coming back to this scene right here, Mark helping this man and setting him in the car, and Mark being like, you're welcome. That was a different way to see it. Because they was like, you do this as in a last wish from me. So him now saying thank you, we can connect it to that moment back then, to that last conversation apparently. As in thank you for having accepted that damn job, because technically I forced your hand here. And he was like, it was my pleasure. As in, it was my pleasure accepting that job for making you see that your opinion matters to me. Love this. It's the metaphors for me.
ได้คุยกับไอเดย์มั้งปะ
Nope.
ให้เขาผลบอกผมก่อนเดี๋ยวพี่ ถ้าเขาไม่อยากคุยก็ไม่คุย
ไอเดย์มันเปิดร้านหนังสืออยู่นะ
ร้านหนังสือเหรอ
I don't like that only Mark has to do the first step. They needs to make the first step too. What?
สนใจหนังสือแนวไหนหรือว่าชอบเล่มไหนเป็นพิเศษเนี่ยบอกได้เลยนะครับ
I'm interested in talking to the owner.
คุณลูกค้าสนใจหนังสือเล่มไหนไหมครับหรือว่า
I'm interested in you. I love this. It's his favorite. It's his favorite. You know it's him, don't you?
ถ้าพวกหนังสือทำอาหารเนี่ยมีไม่ค่อยเยอะนะครับอยู่ด้านในครับพี่หมอก
I knew it.
เริ่มต้นใหม่กับคุณคนเดิม
Uh-huh.
หนังสือความหมายดีนะเนี่ย
The fact that he gets nervous is because he knows that he wrote it about him. Let me know what you wrote about me in that
บอก
book.
กับพี่มั้งครับ
Oh, really? No. And why is that?
หลายเล่มบอกให้เราก้าวผ่านไปถึงและ
Ah.
ถึงเล่มนี้กำลังตั้งคำถามว่า
Why did it end?
งดงามมากเราจะยังองค์กรอยู่กับสิ่งเหล่านั้นได้หรือเปล่า
Oh. Yeah, thank you.
แค่อยากเริ่มต้นใหม่กับคุณคนเดิม
พี่หมอก
Let him know.
ไม่
I still want you back.
พี่อาจารย์ชื่อหนังสือ
ผมก็ไม่ได้ว่าอะไรนี่ผมเดินไปส่ง
Oh, look, yeah, no, thank you. I know the way.
I see.
Be mock.
พี่ไปก่อนเลย ผมเดินช้า
Sir, I mean, he can make the jokes.
เดย์มีแฟนใหม่ยัง ไม่ตอบงั้นพี่ถือว่าไม่มีนะ พี่ก็ยังไม่มีเหมือนกัน
I love him. He's like, I know the impact I have on you.
มึงดูแลดีขนาดเนี้ย กูไม่มีเงินเดือนให้นะเว้ย
มันเผลอพี่
อ่ะแล้วอย่างมัสมั่นไก่ของโปรดเดย์เขาเนี่ยเผลอด้วยปะหรือว่ามือมันลั่น
I love this. Keep on teasing him. She did it back in the day too.
เกี่ยวอะไรกูเนี่ย
พี่ผมมา
Yes, I'm gonna drag you into this. You're enabling her behavior.
แล้วก็มาเยี่ยมหลานด้วย
จ้า แต่ว่าวันเนี้ยลูกกูไม่อยู่บ้านนะ
I love. I love her. She literally is a yaoi fangirl. Yes, be a queen. We stan her. We stan her and G. We stan these two women. I love this. He actually keeps on trying to talk himself out of the fact that this man is completely head over heels for him. Still, even after 3 years of being separated. So, Mark still has the tendency to, I don't want to say baby him, but want to take care of Day because this man still is head over heels for this man. So, he wanted to make sure that this man is capable to, look out, to know where the food is. And in a certain sense, he also wanted to impress him. He wanted to make his favorite because he still knows, which means that this man literally is still that much attached to Day. He wanted to make sure that this man knows that he still can't forget all the times that they spent together and that he still remembers everything from back in the day, as in his likes and his dislikes. He just wanted to make this man remember, as in, don't worry, I know how to take care of you now. As in, I haven't forgotten anything. I am still as in love with you as back then. I've learned from my mistakes. I've learned all the things that in a certain sense you wanted me to. You wanted me to be in Hawaii. You wanted me to take the job. I did that. I had a lot of working time. I gained a lot of experience. And I also became more mature, wiser. So we both grew up differently, as in separately. You have a bookshop now. And I am working in a very popular restaurant where I got to learn all of these dishes. As in, this man also had the chance to become a very good chef like Days and Night's mom. And the fact that Mark is still completely head over heels for him is so funny to me because he's like trying to brush it off. And it has always been like this. Pojai always was nagging at Mark, as in pinpointing at the fact that this man is head over heels for Day, even back then when Mark couldn't even accept it or acknowledge it himself that this man has romantic feelings for Day. And Pojai kept on pointing it out and making all those comments. And when she sensed that there was something seriously going on between Day and Mark, she tried to get the tea from Day, as in to find out if there's something going on there. Now Mark tries to pretend that this man isn't still hooked on Day and still remembers every single detail of him because he was that obsessed, he was that in love with this man that he couldn't forget anything, as in that means for the person that hears it that this man has been on this man's mind every single day for the last 3 years. So he tried to cool it down by trying to say, yeah, I wanted to see my niece, etc. And Pojai keeps on pointing out the obvious. My daughter is not here. How are you gonna see her? You made his favorite dish. Is that an old habit? Or did you want to surprise him? What is this? She knows. She's literally pinpointing at the fact that this man is still head over heels for him.
แล้วเดี๋ยวพี่ฝากเพื่อนเจ้าสาวไปด้วยคนหนึ่งอยู่ดี
ใครอะพี่
พี่
Me. I love it. She's a matchmaker. I love it so much.
บอกมึงยิ้มอะไรวะ
Pajai's a queen.
มึงด้วยเลย
I love it.
ไม่ดี
Let's go point it out. Pajai and Knight literally were made for each other. They literally spent too much time with each other because this used to be Pajai's job to literally keep on digging at the facts, as in they are done seeing all that tiptoeing around the fact that you two are in love with each other. So she kept on pointing it out, and now Knight is doing the same thing. They be spending too much time together. Too much. It's too much. Now Knight was the one that pointed it out. Why are you smiling? You are smiling too. What's going on with here? Like the connection is still there, the love is still there. Why are you smiling? We do be in the know that the feelings are still there. Why are you pretending that they aren't?
เดย์ก็รู้ไม่ใช่หรอว่าพี่มีความสุขเวลาที่พี่ได้ดูแลเดย์
ถ้าเกิด
Why not?
คนอื่นไม่ได้ยินทำไง
So,
พี่ไม่เห็นเราสน
who
ใจเลย
cares?
ผมมีซิกแพคด้วยนะ
แท็กเหรอไหนดูดิ
พี่โม พี่โม พี่โม
อย่างเงี้ยพี่ก็กอดไม่รอบแล้วดิ
Me
โต
too,
ร่ำแล้ว
girl.
ขนาด
Me
เนี้ย
too.
ต้องไปแล้ว
I'm sorry, I'm feeling so much tension. He should have just pulled him in for a kiss. God damn it.
นี่กูเพื่อนเจ้าบ่าวหรือเบวะ ใช้เก่งชิบหายเลย
นะอย่าบ่น
You're both.
ไปเถอะ
He's like, do it the complaint. I love this. They are matchmakers.
ผมว่า
Yes.
พี่แค่คิดว่าเดย์เนี่ยขาดพี่ไม่ได้ต้องอยู่กับพี่ตลอด
You're the one that can't live without him.
ขอบคุณนะที่วันนั้นเดย์บอกเลิกพี่อะเดย์ทำให้พี่โตเป็นผู้ใหญ่ขึ้นเยอะเลย
He matured. He grew up.
ถ้ามันทำอะไรไม่ดีอ่ะ บอกแม่ได้เลย
Ah,
เดี๋ยวแม่จัดการมันเอง
พอแล้วแม่
nah, this has to be said.
ขอบคุณนะคะแม่
Stop. Me too, Mark. Me
เรียก
too.
แม่ถูกทีนี้ต้อนรับสู่ครอบครัวเรานะ
Oh, stop
Sorry.
it. I feel bad for Mark. Why do I feel bad for Mark? Because if we see the smile that he just did, this is like a split smile. Why am I calling it a split smile? Because on one side, this man is so happy for his friend and is feeling so emotional for her. And on the other side, he wishes that he could be the one to call her mom. Because this man literally has no family anymore. He only has Pojai. His sister died. His parents also were dead. So this man literally has no family. The only family that this man had, technically, was Pojai. This man was living over there all alone. He had no one there. Do you know how lonely that must have made him feel? This man was so alone over there, and he tried to hold on to hope. He wanted to mature. He wanted to know why they broke up with him. So this man stayed so long there until he saw an opportunity to come back to Thailand. And that would have been for him like, this is the point where I need to make up for my sins in a certain sense. I need to come back here. When the time comes, I will come here and I will make up for the things that I've done. As in doubting Day, not wanting to let him alone, just having the feeling that this man can't take care of himself, and that's why he always needs to do everything for him. As in not believing that this man actually can take care of himself, and being willing to destroy himself in the process, just for Day to have him by his side. And Day saw this as a no, because he was like, this is a big opportunity for you, and you're giving it out for me. Now, like I said, this man was traumatized. He didn't feel pity for him. But you can see it as pity from Day's perspective. The way he behaved, all shady, not thinking that this man could actually be completely fine with long-distance relationship, etc. So, Mark actually going to Hawaii and being there on his own made him first off grow up, because he had to learn to be independent, to be responsible, to pick up after himself. and he needed to grow as an individual, as in learning the responsibility he had there, the experience he gained, the times that he spent there alone, maybe even reminiscing about the good old days, then reminiscing about what he could have done that led him there, as in him trying to analyze himself and what happened to him. And that took a lot of time, and that also was one of the things that made him grow up, as in become more mature. And they breaking up with him back then was, like I said back in the last episode, it was the lesser evil. He saw himself as the burden that needed to be exposed, or that the only thing in the equation that could be exposable. So he was like, I'm leaving, and Mog stays, or let's just say continues his journey as a cook, because I can see that he has talent with that, and I know that he will be capable to achieve extreme lengths if he just gives himself more credit, as in doesn't take me so seriously in his life and uses the time to work for himself for once. So he broke up with him back then, and Mok now sees this as a good thing, but on the other side, this man also lost the other part. He was in love with Day. He still is in love with Day. Day apparently is the love of his life. And knowing that because of his insecurities, he is losing, or he lost, the love of his life is hurting him psychologically even more. Right now, in this moment, with that expression, you can see that Mok wishes to be the one that is hugging Day's mom and Night's mom right now. He wishes that he is Pojai, being accepted in the family. As in, he wished that he could turn back time with the knowledge that he has right now in order to do everything better, as in to never lose Day. And knowing that this may not be possible is hurting him even more. So this right now, this is not just happiness for his friend. The happiness for his friend is being replaced by self-loathing in a certain sense, self-pity, guilt, sadness, despair, and rage, desperation. I feel bad for him, because you can actually see that this man actually grew up. He shows that he learned from his mistakes, and he's willing not to repeat them. But he has the feeling that his realization and his glow up, as in him growing up mentally and not just physically, came too late. As in, he may have grown up during the course of his life, but for him and Day, it was like wrong place, wrong time. It may have been too late for him to, as in him growing up and being with Day and being the best version of himself for Day and himself came too late. As in, he's too late. He should have had that glow up and that grow up back then.
ว่าคนเราเนี่ยควรเปิดรับโอกาสให้ตัวเองใหม่อีกครั้งหนึ่ง
Emphasis on we.
ต่อให้ผมทะเลาะกับมันมากแค่ไหนเนี่ย ผมก็อยากมีวันเป็นพี่ชายอยู่ดี
I love this. The emotions. You will always be my baby brother. She's so
แต่เขาก็ไม่
pretty.
เคยขอให้ผมเป็นอะไรมากกว่าที่ผมเป็นเลย
That's the right person.
ขอบคุณนะเธอ
เราทุกคน
There. Tell Day that.
ควรได้รับโอกาส
Tell
ค
it
รั้ง
to
ที่
his
สองค่ะ
face.
โดยเฉพาะโอกาสครั้งที่สองที่จะมอบให้เดย์ได้มีความสุขอีกครั้ง
You see what's happening with you? You're slowly falling in sadness and despair with your relationship.
โอกาสครั้งที่สองมันดีเนาะ ถ้าเลือกให้ถูกคนนะ
Sir, you don't need to always point it out, but
เข้าใจ
yes,
มันคงจะไม่มีความ
because
สุข
I
มา
did
ก
the
ขนาดนี้
same.
ว่าพี่รู้สึกไงอะ
ตอนนั้นหรือตอนนี้
Both?
ถ้าเดย์ได้เห็นเนี่ยเดย์อาจจะรู้ก็ได้ว่าจะไม่ว่าตอนนั้นหรือตอนนี้
That! Oh, I love this! Y'all, it's always the damn metaphors for me! The metaphor here is this man's gaze or affection, however you guys want to see it. It hasn't changed. This man fell for him that second, and he is still in love with him as if it was the first day. this man actually is completely head over heels in love with Day. He literally cannot feel that kind of love with anyone at this point. He is so in love with this man, and he's willing to wait for a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, etc. Day is the man of his life. He doesn't want to have anyone else. Back then, this man looked at him with admiration, with desire, with love, with passion. And now, it's still the same. As in, my feelings for you haven't changed. I still love you the same way I did back in the day. And do you know how much that hurts me, knowing that I was the person that screwed it all up? I can't do anything about my past mistakes, but I can at least try to make a better future. I know that you haven't forgotten about me, and I'm not asking you to forgive me for what I did back then or for the mistakes that I've done in the past, but I'm asking you for a chance that I can somehow make it up to you and show you that the person back then that hurt you is gone, that person is not gonna come back anymore. Of course, we're humans. We're all gonna have some moment of our lives where we're gonna do mistakes. We're gonna hurt people unintentionally. But the thing is that life is a learning process. So maybe if I do make a mistake and it truly hurts me, as in that mistake costs me, I will immediately learn out of that mistake. Life is a learning process. So we will never ever stop learning. But the fact is, not letting the pain that we inflicted on others define our present. I know I screwed up. I know what I did was wrong. I know that I should have acted differently, but I was a little younger there. I was a little less mature. I didn't know how to deal with the situation. But the important thing back then and now as well, I had good intentions. I grew up, I learned that what I did was wrong. I could have handled the situation a little differently, and maybe I wouldn't have lost you back then. And I wouldn't have to carry that guilt with me for the rest of my life if I shouldn't give the chance with you. But I'm here in front of you, literally begging, as in showing you that the person back then and the person right now, in terms of you, haven't changed. I will always be willing to look after you. I will always be willing to love you unconditionally. The thoughts I have for you will always be good. I will always have a good place for you in my heart. That will never change. The love and affection I had for you back then are just as intense as the emotions I'm feeling right now. I cannot fight against that powerful love that I have for you. And it's killing me that I can't truly tell you how much you've changed my life or how much your sole presence has impacted me, how much it has changed me, how much it helped me grow up as a person, as an individual, how much you helped me improve, not just personally, but also my life. I didn't have a job, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and because of you, because of your, in a certain sense, technically it was a selfless act, because he was like, I'm the weaker link, so if I cut myself off, even though it should hurt me, you will have the chance to improve on a professional level. So this was him acting selflessly because of the fact that he loved Mock so much. So, give me the chance to prove to you and to show you that the sacrifice you did back then was good. As in, it was beneficial for me to see where I want to go with my life and who I truly need and want in my life. And you are someone that I cannot live without. I need you in my life, and I need to be capable to show you that everything that you've done, that you did with a good intention, was positive. It had a positive impact on me. And I hope that I get the chance to show that it could also have a positive impact on you.
ความรู้สึกตอนนั้นน่ะก็เก็บไว้ตอนนั้นเถอะ
I can't do that though.
พี่ขอโอกาสครั้งที่2ไม่ได้เหรอ
ผมขอโทษนะพี่
Oh. pain.
แต่เดย์จะรู้ได้ยังไงว่าถ้าเดย์ให้โอกาสเขาแล้วเดย์อยู่กับ
What
ความ
did I
รู้สึกแบบ
say?
นี้ไปตลอดชีวิตไม่ไหว
This is
อะ
exactly what he wanted to show to him. Sir, sometimes you need to choose with your heart. When your heart
เราไม่มี
and
ทาง
your
รู้อ
head
นาคตหรอก
are in
เดย์
conflict,
ไม่
sometimes
ว่าจะ
it's
ตา
better
ดี
to
หรือ
listen
ว่า
to
ตา
your
บอด
heart. I can't, sir.
พี่คะหนูฝาก
All this
ประกาศตามหา
drama.
คนหาย
วิน TWL 731ออกไปยังครับ
อ๋อ เครื่องออกจากเกตไปแล้วค่ะ
He did the check in, so technically he is in, but doesn't mean that he's in the
อะไร
plane.
เงี้ยครับ
Literally like the wedding of his friend. Just kiss.
เดย์ไม่ให้พี่พูดคำนี้เองนะ
That's him saying
That's
we're changing the game.
พี่กลับมาคบกับผมได้ไหม
Yes. He's like silence in the rabbit. Let's go. They are the biggest shippers.
สัญญานะ
I love it.
ขอบคุณนะครับ
He can see again. Oh, I knew it.
เดย์มองเห็นแล้วพี่ มองได้เห็นหน้าพี่ชัดๆสักที
เรียกแม่ก็ได้
Yes,
ครับ
finally.
คุณแม่
ทานผักด้วย ไปอีกคนในท้องด้วย อุ้ยลูกเขาเตะ
No,
หัว
it's
ผมอะ
his child.
จริงเหรอ
เอาด้วยพี่รักเดย์นะ ผมก็รักพี่เหมือนกัน พี่มอง
The end of an era. This is not okay. I'm not ready to say goodbye. I don't think this is okay. I don't want to say goodbye, y'all. I'm heartbroken. I love this show so much. All the deep messages that they wanted to put in, that everyone is struggling with something, that hope is the thing that keeps us going, that we ourselves need to find the strength within ourselves to want to keep fighting. If we don't have hope, there's no reason for us to go on. We can't go on. So we bind ourselves to an anchor, as in we develop an emotional attachment to someone, and that emotional attachment gives us the hope that we need in order to fight in the moments where we can't believe in ourselves anymore. And I love the fact that this story tackled also the fact that just because you have a limitation, whether it's psychological pain or physical limitation, literally, that you're still capable to achieve so much as a person through your hard work, through your dedication. And I don't know what to say. I'm so emotional. I don't know what to say. I just can't say that this was a great show. It really was a great show. If any of you have any suggestions of a show that you want me to react to next, you can tell me in the comments below. But I think I'm also gonna put a voting tile so you can tell me there what show you want me to react to next. But anyway, this was a long journey. I am heartbroken, but it's like a bittersweet feeling. And I hope you enjoyed this journey with me. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in a new video. Bye.